Timesys Embedded Board Farm, or EBF, is a test automation infrastructure that allows you to bring your embedded device into your CI/CD process. With EBF, you can make your boards remotely accessible for collaborative software development, test automation, and debugging from anywhere in the world. Here, you see a high-level workflow for automated testing. With your source code in a repository and your test in a repository, you can use a CI/CD tool like Jenkins to build an image that can be loaded onto your embedded board for running the test using your choice of test automation framework. Today, we'll show you this workflow using a robot framework. We'll see how Jenkins can use a robot framework to create a pipeline and test an image on a board connected to the Timesys Embedded Board Farm. Today, we are going to see continuous image deployment and continuous testing for embedded devices using Timesys Embedded Board Farm solution and Jenkins CI/CD tool. This is how our test environment looks. The device under test is a Raspberry Pi 3 board. This board is connected to a Zombie hardware, and in between the Zombie and the IOCX, there's another Timesys hardware input-output controller. If you want to know more about the Zombie and IOCX devices, you can watch the Timesys Embedded Board Farm EBF overview video on the Timesys YouTube channel. There's also an Acme power board that's connected between the device under test and the Zombie. This board measures how much power is drawn by the device. The Zombie, IOCX, device under test, and the probe are all controlled by the EBF server, which runs on an EBF server machine. And on the left side of the screen, we have our Jenkins setup. For this embedded device, we're using Robot Framework, and we have a Robot Framework plugin installed in Jenkins, which provides ease of setting up Jenkins jobs and provides visualization of test results. There's also an Embedded Board Farm command line tool, EBF CLI. The CLI is also installed on the Jenkins node, which provides low-level access to image deployment on the board and test execution through the EBF REST APIs. This is the continuous employment and testing pipeline on the Jenkins webpage. All these boxes represent individual Jenkins jobs. Now we'll run this pipeline. The color of the boxes represent the state they are in. Blue means this job is still to be executed. Yellow means it is under execution. Green means job completed. And red would mean that the job failed. These jobs are chained, so if any of the jobs fail, then none of the remaining jobs, those to the right, will run. While this pipeline is running, let's go and see what these jobs are doing. This is the image publisher job. Here I can see all the build history, all the jobs that have run, and I can go click on a job and see which job used which image. This job used this Raspberry Pi 3 rootfs, which was verified by the build system. So if you start seeing any failures in your pipeline, you can track down which image passed all the tests and where you started to get test failures. Let's go back and see the next job, allocate device. This job prints out the device information and it reserves the device for this pipeline so no one else can use it. The next job is flash image. It starts by downloading the image from the publisher job. Then it powers off the device, flashes the image for the device. Then once the flashing is complete, it verifies whether the flashing was successful or not. And in case it's successful, it powers on the device. If any of these steps failed, the job would fail. Now we'll look at the test execution job. Here you can see a test execution summary. In the last job, how many tests were run, how many passed, what's the percentage. You can also see trends. How many passed, how many failed with each build. You can go and browse the reserves. So here, it's showing me the name of this feed. In that test feed, how many tests passed. And if we turn on the test case, we can go and see the actual test logs. This test was measuring the maximum power drawn by the device. You can expand this and see the maximum power drawn when this test was run. We can see all of this information from the test device job. And the final job in this pipeline is to release the device. Once everything is done, just go release the device, release the reservation log, and this is so other Jenkins users can use the device to run test automation or for remote debugging. As you see, this whole pipeline has run and all are green, which means our continuous deployment and testing has passed. Using this same process, you can set up additional pipelines for your different embedded devices to do continuous deployment and testing. Timesys EBF supports the CLI through EBF REST APIs. You can integrate any CI/CD. Timesys EBF can be tested and supported on all the different frameworks and build systems shown here. If you have any questions, please visit timesys.com or contact us through our website. Thanks.